Good evening, everybody. Good night, or no, good evening, I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Yo, welcome to Talking Dirty with your boy. Me. So halfway point of the season, not really halfway point, but a break point in the prep season, tournaments, games. We've been seeing them go down here. Some great performances, some surprise performances, but some really good outlooks for a bunch of different teams. It's a new format. What this format has taught us is that teams have to be flexible. The teams that have been successful this season so far are teams that are finding a way to play all 5 phases of the game, put themselves in position to be alive at the end of the day. Philadelphia Elite, great transition team, also plays well from the outside, but a lot of great slashers and cutters. Same thing goes for Beast of the East, Heartland Zombies, H-Town Lone Star, the Yacht Club. Those teams that have chalked up wins this season, those teams that have chalked up really dominant performances and been able to carry it through. G5, the Trays, even beyond the arc, of those moments that you've seen like, okay, this is a team that's obviously being coached well from the beginning, doing a lot of the classwork stuff that they need to do during the week to put themselves in a position to address those 5 phases. But the best thing about this style tournament, and I know I didn't mention Latin America, just give me a second. The best thing about this tournament is it gives the prepsters an opportunity to perform in the most versatile environment possible. You can't just study for one team. You can't just do homework for one team. You have to do homework for everybody, because other than your first 2 matches, you have no idea who you're facing. And then you're going to get a rematch. So that's the sort of homework that you do on the next level that they're having to learn how to do here in this sort of compressed level, which is great. Great training for the next level of ball. The reality for a lot of the players is that we're starting to see holes. Like, they'll start off really great, and then, but by the end of the day, the physical nature of playing those multiple games catch up with the mental nature of playing with those games, and what you see happen, you start seeing a massive drop off. And that's something that's going to have to be worked out, because that's more mental than physical. I don't believe that they're that tired. I believe that it's just they're mentally taxing in order to be that flexible all day, but they're going to learn how to do that. The other thing across the table, again, addressing all 5 phases, is being flexible enough to understand, of the 5 phases, these are our best, these are our worst. How do we bring the other team in it to perform with us in order to put ourselves in a position to be successful for this game? Not the next game, not the game we just had, but this game right here. And that is a key point that's coming from the bench. When I say the bench, I mean the coaches, I mean the training during the week. You have to be in the present in the tournament like this. And those teams that we talked about earlier have definitely found a way to do that. Latin America's win was huge in that it showed that a team that, despite of all of the issues that they had, they were able to position themselves to have a super dominant performance by one player, and that performance was supported, and that got them to a tournament win. So everything can be placed in the box that it should be in. The reality of it is this: the point of performance that you can do consistently tells everyone who you are. And SimWorld has got it right with these tournaments this year, doing in this particular format. I find it very exciting. I love watching and seeing the development throughout the day. It gives me a lot more to talk about, a lot more to think about, a lot more to work on. So let's talk about some individual performances on the other side.
Thank you for listening to the Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
see the game,
be
be the
the
game.
game.
Now, back to the Maestro.
Sorry. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome back to Talking Dirty with your boy. So, this is only get the even number of shout outs out the way. You know, the athletes who have shown a propensity this season so far to find a way to shine. Monte Parson of the Ill, Marco Jacobs of Queen City Kings, Brianna Johnson of SimWorld Atlantis, yeah. Kai Killens, Gulf Coast, Almighty Soul, H-Town, Trey DeRozan of Lone Star, and Jason Holbrook of the Scorchers. Yeah, that's 9. So yeah, even number. Okay. Why am I talking about that? Because there have been performances that have been consistent throughout the season, and we've seen moments of, yeah, that's why, that's that dude. And there's been performances that have made us go, ooh, you got to work on that. Now, what those players have sort of done, I'm going to talk about them in terms of the moments that they've had in tournaments that have been big for their clubs, is they found a way to fill in the gap or what was missing with their teams during those particular tournaments in order to help lead their team to victory. The player of the previous group that have struggled the most in terms of their performances turning into victories, turning into tournament wins, has been Kai Killens with Gulf Coast. Again, we've had this conversation. We're not going to rehash that, but the reality of it is the performance is still there, but the performance without the team performance is being a little empty. And you know, players. What I love is the responsibility, and this is just across the table. Players who take responsibility, who step up and say, "This loss was on me," or "These losses were on me," or whatever. And though to a point that might be true, I want to give you young cats an opportunity to think about in another way. Where you're playing right now is about personal and selective development. It's about putting yourself in a position to be the best player you can be right now. Not the greatest of all time, not the best that ever was, but the best you right now. Now, this is the reality of it. When players have always looked at the format of, I'm not getting the noise I should get because of what I'm doing. But take a look at what you're doing objectively. Ask other people to take a look at what you're doing objectively. We talk about this all the time. Our concept of our game, if we feel we've risen to the point where we have to get that kind of attention, might not be what we think it is. Especially if you're not getting it. Trust me, if you're playing that way, you're getting noticed, no matter what your rankings might say. Because that's what the scouts are looking at the overall play, the overall work. And there's a lot of players that we can talk about that have put in great performances consistently this season that are moving up in the rankings, but not because of that great consistent play. It's because of the way that play has been happening, the way that play has been going about, that added to that consistency and that level of like, okay, wow, there's a skill set there, there's a skill set there, there's a skill set there. Now, pro tip. Do your job, do what you do. Don't worry about getting talked about. Keep your nose down. Why? Because your performance, if I'm talking about player X and you go against player X and you outshine player X, guess who now got my eye? You do. and you didn't have that hype coming into that game. You didn't have that hype coming into that tournament. But then you put on your performance. You kept your nose down. You credited your teammates. You credited your coach. You credited your organization. Those things go so much further than saying, "Wow, I scored 30. How come I'm not getting any love?" That's the old guy on this one. All right. Looking forward for the rest of the tournaments. Looking for what we're going to do and where we're going to go. Tell me what you think. Who do you think is going to come out here with the rest of these tournaments as we get into our playoff season? Who do you think is going to be? Yeah, what? Here's my question to you guys. Give me 3 players that no one's talking about that you think we should be talking about, and give me 2 teams that haven't performed well so far that you think are going to perform well, and tell me why. Look your boy up with that. Holla at your boy. Let me know what's up. All right, fam? And we all know the rules, right? Never let Jason Bourne borrow your car.
Like, I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.